What's going on, guys? BCB here, coming at you from the beautiful Blackwater State Forest, my wife and mine's house up here instead of Nichols Ranch today. My wife has done an amazing job setting up everything for me. I love it, guys. She's done an awesome job. We got my hero, my favorite president up there, a real man's man, Mr. T.R. Roosevelt in the center, stars and bars. Something I'm very, very, very proud of is the button collection that was given to me by the local legend himself, Mr. Vic Campbell. And something that is very, very near and dear to my heart. That picture right there. It's me and my brother and my other brother, Tim Hobbs, Superman. When he was at his best right there. Great times. Not a day goes by that I don't think about it, man. Go by and visit him every week at his grave. And it's not the same without him, that's for sure. And you all that's lost loved ones, you know what I'm talking about. He was our hero. He was the one that could do everything. But anyways, guys, we got another video today. Another American Badasses, the Facts. This one is General Tecumseh Sherman, the one that turned war as hell. He is something else, and you will find out. Anyway, we got a couple facts. We're going back the old school way of one fact, spit it out there to you, speak on it a little bit, move to the next one, roll right through. We're going to try to get through it as quickly as we can. Hopefully you learned something that you didn't know, and if not, oh well. Enjoy the video anyway. But first off, guys, we got to give a shout out to Mr. Brandon Price. All right, he's over at Insane Asylum. He's been tattooing for 10 years. Brandon is a well-rounded artist. He prefers black and gray realism and taking on projects of all styles. You can find Brandon at 819 Beverly Parkway, Pensacola, Florida, 32505, and at 850-607-7551. That's 850-607-7551. Their hours are 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. They're closed on Mondays. He does amazing work, as you'll see. And he's also going to be the co-sponsor of our new show that we're going to be premiering this week. But anyway, he's sponsoring this video right here, and we got to give him a shout out. Anyway, if you want great, great, great tattooing, Brandon's the man to see. Anyway, go check him out. Insane Asylum, 819 Beverly Parkway, Pensacola, Florida, 32505, 850-607-7551. Now, let's get into it. General Tecumseh Sherman.
You tell him! You tell him I'm coming! And hell's coming with me!
We're going to jump right into it, but first, got to hit two little items. I'm cold. We just got home. Heater just got going. And so, yeah, I'm freezing. Second, yeah, so what, I'm getting old. But anyway, with that said, William Tecumseh Sherman. 9 things you may not know about William Tecumseh Sherman. Number 1, he was named for a Shawnee chief. William Tecumseh Sherman, known as Cump to his friends, was born in Lancaster, Ohio on February 8, 1820. His father gave him his unusual middle name as a nod to the Shawnee chief Tecumseh, a magnetic leader who built a confederacy of Ohio Indian tribes and fought with the British during the War of 1812. A relative later wrote that Sherman's father always shook off the concerns that he had given his son a savage Indian name by arguing Tecumseh was in fact a great warrior. Fact number 2, he married his foster sister. After losing his father at the age of 9, Sherman was sent to live with Thomas Ewing, a renowned Ohio attorney and family friend who later served as a senator and the United States Secretary of the Treasury. The young Sherman grew up close with Ewing's eldest daughter, Ellen, and they regularly corresponded through letters during his tenure at West Point and his early military career. Following a very long engagement, the two were married in 1850 in a Washington, D.C. ceremony attended by the likes of President Zachary Taylor, Henry Clay, and Daniel Webster. Talk about a guest list. The couple later would have 8 children, 2 of whom died from sickness while Sherman was serving his cause in the Civil War. I couldn't imagine that right there. You're all already enough stress on your head, not knowing if you're going to live to see tomorrow, and find out 2 of your babies have died. Good night, man. Fact number 3. He played a role in triggering the California Gold Rush. While stationed in San Francisco in 1848, Sherman helped convince military governor Richard Mason to investigate one of the first reported gold discoveries in California. He was on the scene during a mission that confirmed the existence of rich gold deposits along the Sacramento River, and later penned the letter Mason sent to Washington relaying their findings. Coupled with other early discoveries, Sherman and Mason's fact-finding mission inadvertently set off a wave of gold fever in the United States. In less than a year, California's population more than quadrupled after thousands of speculators journeyed west to make their fortune. Didn't know that. See, and that's why I love doing these things. A lot of the stuff I have no clue about. I'm learning myself, as hopefully you are as well. That right there, the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers. A lot of you don't know that's where it comes from. Of course, I knew about the San Francisco 49ers in 1849, yada, 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 but I didn't know that Mr. Sherman played such a role in that. That's pretty cool right there, guys. Fact number 4. He had a rocky career in business. After missing out on combat in the Mexican-American War and enduring a series of lackluster assignments, Sherman would leave the military in 1853 to run a San Francisco bank. While he proved a competent businessman, the move corresponded with the bursting of the gold rush bubble, and his branch collapsed in the ensuing financial hysteria. Sherman was left humiliated, in part because many military friends, including future Civil War generals Braxton Bragg and George Thomas, had entrusted money to him. To help cover their losses, he eventually liquidated some $20,000 worth of his own assets. Sherman left the banking world for good in 1858. He later signed on as the first superintendent of the Louisiana State Seminary of Learning and Military Academy. That school would later become Louisiana State University. Another one I didn't know. I had no clue that he was the first superintendent of what is now LSU. It's cool stuff, guys. Fact number 5. He may have suffered a nervous breakdown during the Civil War. Alrighty. I don't know if that's such a good thing right there. You got a general that's possibly going crazy with thousands of men under him. Might not be a good thing. Following a promising performance at July 1861's First Battle of Bull Run, Sherman was promoted to brigadier general and eventually given command of Union troops in Kentucky and Tennessee. Sherman had not wanted the role, and in short order, the weight of his responsibilities took a toll on his mental health. He vastly overestimated the size of Confederate forces in the region, griped in his dispatches to President Lincoln, and appeared constantly on edge. Historians have since speculated that he was suffering from depression or nervous exhaustion. But whatever its cause, the general's bizarre behavior eventually found its way into the papers, some which labeled him insane. Sherman requested to be relieved from his position in early November 1861 and remained sidelined until that December, when he was reassigned to the Western Theater. He was later placed under the command of General U.S. Grant, and following a crucial victory at April 1862's Battle of Shiloh, the pair forged a winning partnership that lasted for the remainder of the war. Yes, it did. And a lot of folks know that because of that partnership, it was one of the death knells for the Confederacy. And it led to fact number 6. He cut off all lines of communication during the March to the Sea. Sherman's famous March to the Sea. Sherman's March to the Sea was one of the most stunning operations of the Civil War. Yet few people outside of Georgia knew anything about it while it was currently underway. Before leaving Atlanta, Sherman intentionally severed all telegraph links to the north to help shroud his moves in secrecy. The plan meant the Confederates could only speculate about where Sherman and his 60,000-strong rampaging army were headed. But it also left the Union High Command in the dark about the mission's progress. When asked about Sherman's whereabouts, a worried President Lincoln is said to have responded, "We know what hole he went in, but we do not know what hole he will come out of." Sherman would finally reappear on December 22nd, having slashed and burned his way through the heart of Georgia. Upon reaching the sea, he sent a famous message to Lincoln that read, "I beg to present you as a Christmas gift, the city of Savannah." They had no clue. They knew what he was going to do, didn't know how it was going, the progress, nothing. All they knew was going in right here, we're going to hope that whatever he's doing is going to work out. And a couple days before Christmas, Lincoln gets a letter. "Merry Christmas. Here's the city of Savannah." I say it turned out pretty good for him. Fact number 7. He offered lenient terms of surrender to defeated Confederates. Despite his reputation for hard warfare, Sherman could also be surprisingly, perhaps even naively, generous in victory. When he accepted Confederate General Joseph E. Johnston's surrender in Durham, North Carolina in April 1865, Sherman offered very forgiving terms that granted general amnesty to the rebels and even allowed the southern states to immediately re-enter the Union upon swearing an oath of allegiance. The sweeping agreement enraged U.S. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton, who rejected it out of hand and criticized Sherman for giving up all the advantages we had gained from the war. Joseph Johnston was forced to surrender under more conventional terms, but he went on to become a good friend to Sherman and even served as a pallbearer at his old friend's advisory's funeral in 1891. Wow. A lot of people don't know, but Stanton really didn't like the South. But at the same time, you got to look at it from his point of view. He's trying to do a job and trying to keep the country together. But the way he went about doing things, they were a little harsh, in decent words. And see, this is something else that I didn't know. I had the mental picture of Sherman as being a gung-ho, hard guy that took no prisoners and off with their head kind of dude. I wouldn't have never thought that this is the individual he is. Moving on, fact number 8. He also used his Scorched Earth brand of warfare against Native Americans. After the Civil War, Sherman was given command of the Military Division of the Mississippi and tasked with pacifying the Plains Indians during the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. Sherman took to the job with characteristic vigor, orchestrating the relocation of the tribes and warning their chiefs. You cannot stop the locomotive any more than you can stop the sun or the moon, and you must submit. To help break the native spirit, Sherman took a page from his Civil War playbook and set his sights on destroying one of their primary resources, the buffalo. Beginning in the late 1860s, he organized the killing of some 5 million bison in an effort to drive the creatures to the brink of extinction. Sherman continued his harsh policies after becoming commanding general of the Army in 1869, and by the 1870s, he had helped force most of the Plains people onto reservations. Yet again, he had a job to do. I don't agree with how he done it. I wasn't there. I'm Native American, so it stings, but I wasn't there. I don't know the situation the man was in. I don't know the details, so I'm not going to make a judgment call on that. I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback something that happened that long ago, especially when none of us were alive to see it. It's history. Let's hope we never have to experience anything like that again. Fact number 9, he repeatedly declined to run for president. Sherman made no secret of his disdain for politics, once quipping that he would rather spend 4 years in jail than in the White House. Nevertheless, during the 1870s and 1880s, Washington, D.C. movers and shakers often tried and failed to convince him to make a run at the presidency. Sherman tried to stamp out the speculation once and for all in 1884, when he turned down an invitation to become the Republican candidate by saying, "I will not accept if nominated and will not serve if elected." His unequivocal response has since become famous in political circles, where similar flat refusals are often dubbed Shermanesque statements. I like that. I will not accept if nominated and will not serve if elected. So, talk about literally wasting your vote right there, guys. But anyway, guys, those are the 9 facts on William Tecumseh Sherman. I hope you learned something. I sure as heck did. God was something else, man. He did a lot of questionable things, of course, but none of us were there, so we can't judge him. Let's just hope that we never have to experience anything like that in our lifetime. And hopefully he was able to make those around him a little bit better for having to suffer the things that he had to suffer from. Because making those decisions to do those type of things, that has to mentally wear him down. And if you look at the pictures of Sherman, the scruffled hair, the disheveled look, he just doesn't come off as a happy guy, you know what I mean? And after learning a little bit more, I can kind of understand why. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. American Badasses, William Tecumseh Sherman. I'm Tommy Nichols. This is the Blue Collar Voice. Remember, you woke up in the greatest nation this world has ever known this morning. But it is up to each and every one of us to keep her that way. Eyes front, shields up. Toodles.